Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about important factors when considering an energy upgrade to your historic or vintage home here in the Northwest. What are some things that people are doing where they think they're actually improving their air quality when in reality they're not?
Yeah, you know, I think part of it is that we either sense an odor. We all kind of like the smell of Northwest woods, or the smell of some fancy flower that we can't find, and we spray aerosols. We buy these aerosols that plug into the wall that kind of falsify the odors in the air and make it smell like some place that it really isn't. We have to be very careful with that, because some of those aerosols and the chemicals that we're putting in can actually make the air quality worse. So I think we have to be careful. I think it's also making sure that lifestyle, to choose things that you don't put into the house, is part of those. And putting a Band-Aid on a problem is a tip. Your nose is a great tool, and it can help tell you something, that if you smell something, maybe it's something to look into further, not mask it. So if there's an odor problem, you might find that there's something in the crawl space that's a problem. It could be a mold odor that's something in the walls or someplace else. So let your nose guide you a little bit. It's an amazing tool, and to maybe help find a solution or find a problem that should be fixed, not covered up. Imagine if you had a mold problem and you plugged in your little special wall outlet smell thing, and it covered up and masked an odor of a mold that was really unhealthy for you. Stachybotrys, penicillium, those are molds that you don't want to respirate. It could be a problem. So if I'm breathing in a mold problem and covering it up with something else, might be more
How bad would that be if you went to the doctor and they couldn't quite diagnose what was going on, and now you may be taking drugs, or you've been diagnosed with something that, you know, an allergy that they can't figure out what it is, and by not masking it, you could have found out in the first place without ever having to go through that.
I think
wonder
so.
how often that happens.
I think it happens a lot, actually. I think that it's a $1 billion industry, smells, and I think that you know, if you look at all the things, if you go to a store, you'll see shelves and shelves of different kinds of things that can make your house smell amazing. And some of it's okay, I suppose, if you're looking at a small amount, but there are people who burn candles, for example, scented candles. We have to be careful with those. They give off carbon a bit. So we've had people that have done that. They put a lot of candles, you know, tons of candles in the house, and all of a sudden there's this little black soot settling on surfaces. If you've ever taken a burnt candle flame and you push your finger through it, you'll see it's all black, right? Yeah. So that's the emitting of those carbon emissions that come up from a candle. So maybe using beeswax as a better candle, it makes a lot more sense. I think there's things that we can do a better job of. It's filters that you put in the furnace, if you have a furnace, that you put a filter in, put a little bit better one that does a better job of filtering. Change them more often. So we have to be careful about trying to manage both how we contribute, chemicals and things we bring in, lifestyle, and then let your nose tell you that there could be something you should be aware of, and try to fix the core problem and improve that. Ventilation is probably one of the best, right outside. Usually smells amazing. And so if you could bring more outdoor air in, maybe a ventilation system would improve that. I've been, and as you have, been to houses where you walk in and you're like, wow, so you have a dog, right? And they're like, yeah, we have a dog. And so when you can tell that walking in the front door, that's a tip that you might have a bit of an air quality problem, but everybody who lives there is used to it, right? So I would say that there are things, you know, we having the same thing for dinner tonight? And you're like, no, that was last night. That's a tip that the air change rate might be low. So fresh air in a house really improves that. There's nothing better than opening the windows, right? On a nice day, you open the windows and let the fresh air come in. That's what a ventilation system could do. So we want to make sure that we're not masking things and covering them up.
Great. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you, sir.